Rude awakening for Caitlin Clark triggers Dallas Wings HC's locker room warning for Paige Bueckers Co. It's one game at a time. It'll improve. This is exactly what Chris Koclanes and the Dallas Wings locker room believes in. With a 0-3 on the rankings so far, the journey with the Wings has not been easy for the newly inducted head coach. While the absence of all-stars Natasha Howard and Setu Sabally is difficult on the Wings, team captain Arike Ogunbowale is still getting used to her new reality. With a revamped roster including Paige Bueckers and Tyasha Harris, the Wings are still fighting on, desperate to land a first win in their basket as they step on the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta today. Head of the match against Atlanta Dream, the Wings HC, Chris Koclanes sounded intimidated in the interview regarding thoughts on facing the power-packed roster, in the wake of what went down between the to-be opponents and Indiana Fever. On being asked about the things Dream does well against guards, Koclanes was in awe of the team. Observing how all the Dream guards carry a potential to protect the rim and act out their physicality, knowing that they have other players to take care of their messes, he praised the size and physicality of the Atlanta Dream guards like Rhyne Howard, who has an excellent shooting prowess along with a height and weight advantage. Talking on the Grant Afsef podcast during the pre-match interview against Atlanta Dream, Koclanes said, "Well, they've got some big size and good physical guards with Rhyne, and then they have great rim protection. So their guards can be physical out there knowing that there's size behind them to clean up any messes." He brought up a major concern that a team like Dream can use their physicality against the Wings because they are capable of doing so. Also, other players on the roster can build around their size. This is the very concern that even Indiana Fever HC, Stephanie White, raised after their first regular season against the Dream, when two of her players, Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston, came under the opponent's radar. Atlanta guards like Brittany Griner and Rhyne Howard isolated the Fever players and used their physicality to their advantage. They scored consecutively for the team, while the Fever failed to fight the undersized issue. Meanwhile, Chris also raised a warning sign to watch out for. He cautioned the team against Dream's tactics and openly suggested that if Dallas Wings team focuses on more mid-range jump shots and spreads in paint, instead of huddling close to the rim, they will be able to prevent what the Dream did with Fever roster. "We've got to try to move that size away from the rim, and then we just got to go in there. And in the paint, look for the middies if we can't get all the way to the rim. But then again, try to collapse and spread, but we got to dominate the paint," Chris advised Paige Co. ahead of the match against Dream. He told the team to dominate the paint without getting too desperate. He also indicated steering clear from the rim, but will Dallas Wings be able to follow his advice, or is it too late? Bueckers, the No. 1 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, has already shown her worth, posting a double-double, 12 points, 10 assists, against the Minnesota Lynx on May 21, becoming just the third rookie in league history to notch that feat within her first 3 games. "I'm just trying to contribute to winning, whether I'm making or missing shots," she said post-game, showing the poise Koclanes needs against Atlanta's pressure. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Dream was successful in breaking Caitlin Clark's record of scoring a three-pointer. Clark had a successful 140-game streak, where she had scored at least one three-pointer shot in every match. The streak that began during her collegiate years with the NCAA came to a drastic end in her sophomore run with the Indiana Fever on May 22, 2025. ESPN's official Instagram account broke the news on Friday with a caption that read, "Caitlin Clark's incredible streak of 140 straight games with a May 3, including NCAA and WNBA, came to an end versus the Atlanta Dream." While Clark's streak of a three-pointer in 140 games spanned over 1,225 days, her streak came to a halt 3 years ago when the Fever faced Purdue Boilermakers women's basketball team on January 22, 2022. On the other hand, with a previous close-call match against Minnesota Lynx with a score of 81-85, seems like the Dallas Wings have found their footing and are gradually returning in their original and dominant form. As Arike led the team with all her efforts against the Lynx, and Bueckers scored a double-double, Wings also boasts of a revamped roster including players like Myisha Hines-Allen, Paige Bueckers, Tyasha Harris, Nalisa Smith, and Dejanai Carrington. And with a losing streak so far, all HC Chris and the team can aspire is to give their everything in the upcoming matches.